Hello everyone, my name is Sandeep Gupta and you're watching Electric Vehicles. In this video, we'll talk about the teaser videos that is doing rounds from Mahindra Electric. Three things to be very excited about. One, the vehicles are launching on July 22. Second, these are designed in UK and UK is world famous for its vehicle design. You would recall that even Ola has set up a headquartered in UK so that they're able to design their cars from there. And third thing, which is most important, most interesting, and which is the topic of this video, it is born electric. Now, why is that so important? Why is that so interesting? Is what we'll find out in this video. If you happen to like it, please like, share, and subscribe, and write us a comment. So if we talk about the Tata cars right now, which is Nexon EV and the Tigor EV, both of these cars are actually an ICE vehicle which has been converted into an electric vehicle. When that happens, what the manufacturer does is, okay, they take out the engine, the fuel tank goes, and all the 100 million plus 3 parts that an ICE vehicle has and which an electric does not require goes out. And then the EV components, which are motor, battery, controllers, all these are fit in wherever space available. That is not an efficient way to go about designing an EV. Now, electric vehicles have a standard architecture of their own, which is called a skateboard architecture. It looks like a skateboard where you have a floorboard. In the floorboard, you've got the battery pack, the cells integrated. In the front part, you have the motor integrated. On the four corners are your wheels. And then you have your suspension and your controller and your steering, powertrain, brakes. Everything is integrated in this architecture, which is the skateboard architecture. Now, the biggest advantage of a skateboard architecture is that it is scalable, which means once you have your skateboard architecture, you can fit in cells of different sizes or different quantities, a motor of different power as per your need. And you can have, from the same architecture, you can very quickly design vehicles belonging to entirely different segments. You can have a hatchback, you can have a compact SUV, you can design a premium SUV. All these vehicles, all these segments will have their own motor capacity, will have their own driving range. All of that can be done just from having a simple template, which is the skateboard architecture. Now, contrast that with a Nexon EV or a Tigor EV. You will see that in a Tigor EV, the boot space is occupied by the spare wheel. Why is the spare wheel in the boot space? Because in place of the spare wheel, they have put in the battery. They did not have to do that in Nexon EV. They had enough space under the floorboard, but they didn't have enough space in Tigor EV, which means they had to engineer both these vehicles differently. They had to come up with solutions to fit in the EV related components. That is out of the equation when you're talking about a skateboard architecture. You fit in your motor and your battery pack and your cells, and you have different, just by the virtue of having different designs, you will have different vehicles from different segments. So having an electric vehicle specific architecture does four things. Number one, it brings down the cost. Number two, it brings down the complexity. Number three, it saves a lot of space. You get a lot of leg room, you get a lot of boot space. And fourth thing is, the battery pack is present in the floorboard itself, which brings down the center of gravity of the vehicle, therefore making it more stable and more fun to ride. Now, Tata is of course exploring this same thing. You would have heard about the Tata's specific EV specific division where they're talking about the Sigma architecture, and then they're talking about the skateboard architecture. All of that is happening later. Meanwhile, Mahindra is already all set with its born electric architecture, and that is what you will see July 2022. The teaser videos show three vehicles that are coming up. The lights there in the form of a C, or in the form of the alphabet C, and then there is this a large sunroof, and you have ambient lighting in the dashboard. The interiors look good, and then there are knobs and all. It is a very exciting product to see from the teaser video, and the features will also be very exciting given that it is an electric only platform. All of these and many more will be coming up in this channel. So please subscribe to this channel and write us a comment. Go green, go electric.